Hi, boys and girls. Today I'm going to be reading a book to you called Pete the Cat. I am going to find it, and here it is. Pete the Cat, a pet for Pete. Pete is going to the pet store. He is going to get a pet. Pete wants a bird, a hamster, or a lizard. But then Pete sees a goldfish. That's what I want, he tells his mom. Pete's mom gets fish food. I'm going to call you Goldie, Pete says to his new pet. You are my first pet, Pete tells Goldie on the way home. Pete takes Goldie to his room. He feeds her fish food. Now what? Asks Pete. He can't play with Goldie. He can't swim with her. Pete knows what he can do. Pete paints a picture of Goldie. He paints 4 fins and an orange tail. What a pretty painting, says Pete's mom. You can keep it, says Pete. Cool painting, says Bob. Can you make one for me? Sure, says Pete. Pete paints a picture for Bob. Wow, says Bob. It looks just like Goldie. Bob shows Pete's painting to his friend Tom. Now Tom wants a painting too. Pete paints another picture of Goldie to take to school for show and tell. This is Goldie, my pet fish, Pete tells his class. Cute fish. Cool colors. Nice work. I wish I had a picture of Goldie, says Benny. I'll make you one, says Pete. Everyone in Pete's class wants a painting of Goldie. Pete's grandma wants a painting too. Pete has a lot to do. He has to feed Goldie. He has to do homework. Pete paints and paints. He makes paintings for everyone on his list. At last, Pete is done. He worked hard. There is no paint left. Pete's paintings are a big hit. Pete is happy to be done. But Pete is not done. Now everyone in town wants a picture of Goldie. Pete gets more paint. I don't know what to do, he says to his mom. I wish I could paint pictures for everyone. I just don't have time. Pete's mom has an idea. She tells Pete. Great idea, says Pete. Pete gets right to it. This time he works outside and makes a huge painting. Honk, honk. Beep, beep. Here comes Pete. He has made one painting of Goldie for everyone in town to enjoy. What a great day! When Pete gets home, he tells the real Goldie about it. The end. And there is Pete the cat and Goldie the goldfish in the goldfish bowl. Wow. All right, boys and girls. Today we're going to make a drawing of Goldie the goldfish. So you need one piece of white paper and some crayons. I'm going to draw my picture right up here. The first thing I'm going to do is draw a goldfish bowl. I'm going to make a big circle. It's taking up almost the whole page, and I'm going to close it up on the top. The next thing I'm going to do is make the table that the bowl is sitting on. So making a line here, it's going to stop at the bowl. Imaginary, imaginary, imaginary. Oh, starts right here and goes all the way across. Now my goldfish bowl is on the table. Here's how I like to draw my fish. And you can do this with me. I'm going to take an orange since Goldie is kind of an orangish color. I'm going to draw a large oval laying down. Here it is. He's in the bowl. Now, I remember in that story, Pete drew Goldie with 4 fins. Let's do that. 1 triangle on the top. Here's the dorsal fin. 1 on the bottom. 1 in the middle, his pectoral fin. So that's 3 triangles and his triangle tail, his tail fin. Let me put it close so you can see it. 1 on the top, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the bottom. Did you know that fish have eyes on the sides of their head? I'm going to draw my fish's 1 eye. And maybe a smiley face. All right. Of course, I can color this in too. Maybe you might want to add some things to this. You could put some plants in there with maybe a green crayon, squiggly up and squiggly down. Color it in. Squiggly up and squiggly down and color it in. Now, if you have just crayons, you're going to color your picture with crayons. If you have watercolor paints, look what I did. I made a Goldie painting just like Pete. So I drew my art. I drew my fish bowl and my fish shape and some of these plants in there, and I added a little turtle with crayons, and then I used my watercolor paints to paint over the top. Wow. You know what? That is what we're doing today. We're making a picture of Goldie, just like Pete did in the story. So I can't wait to see your picture. Will you tell me about it next week? Yes? All right, boys and girls. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.